Concentration on the elevation. All that hate used it as motivation. All them losses turned to lessons, kept me dedicated. Dropped out of school, got it myself, my Lord educate me. And kept heavy metal underneath my decorations. Designing everything, they look and think I'm confiscating. But that metal I was packing wasn't segregated. Keep it true with my savages, I never played them. Thoughts in my head like, you ready or not? Dice want the music, Dice Jones want the block. I'm cool killing beats, but I miss beating the block. Ain't complaining about a check, but I miss going to cop in my recipe. I know my dog loving the pedigree. No puppy child when you eat with me. OGs, they salute a G, cause they know they're the ones that influence me. The opportunity's what I got. But I'm here now, I'm here now. Never going back again. Where I came from. It's one or two ways it is. I know they wanna see me fall. But they gonna see me fall. Get all this shit that I done came from. Couple old niggas betrayed, but I don't hate them. Couple bitches went away, but I forgave them. Guess a hoe gon' be a hoe, no you can't save them. And every word I write is real, it's not to entertain. I'm trying to see the real in you, my eyes and got distracted. Wasted all this time being related. It's the best idea you ever had was separated. Looking at my daughter like a baby. I made a promise and it's true, I'll never change it. I said I love a lot of you and that's remaining. That's why I'm telling you the truth that he maintained it. Probably see me walking through the rain. Probably see me walking through the pain. Do it all I can do with my friend. Do it all I'll always love the same. But I'm here now, I'm here now. Never going back again. Where I came from. It's one or two ways it is. I know they wanna see me fall. But they gonna see me fall. Because I'm real now. You couldn't say I kept it real now. Yeah, you gotta do the best you can with what you got. This is what I got. Do the best I can. Where you from? I'm from the deep. But if you ask me, I'm from the G. I'll be up in this little, this is but a love sheet. But a love sheet. When I'm dropping these stacks, I'm never come back and I'm never off beat. I'm stuck on my feet. I'm up in the sky, I land on my feet. It's like cries, we need. You walk around my cleats. I feel like fucking out cheap. Had to learn to trust what I keep. I had to learn to never repeat. I'll be keeping up my receipts. I'll be keeping up my receipts. Safe plan for keeps. I'll be keeping up my receipts.
Brother, cut.
Safe plan for keeps. Where you from? What do you mean? Go to the west and come to the east if you're looking for me. I'll be packing no drums. I'll be packing no heat. Yo, this ballistic. Come out the streets. I'll be making you leave. I was coming to teach and I'm a lyric. Do it over the knee. And I'm you from the bottom of my cheeks. So there's nothing I'm like a geek. I went to college when I got a degree. We never saw it intelligently. Yeah, okay. I'll be keeping up my receipts. Safe plan for keeps. I'll be keeping up my receipts. Safe plan for keeps. You already told me to come out of the world. You gonna be calling me. I ain't gonna fall today. I ain't gonna fall today. I ain't gonna fall away. I ain't gonna fall today. I ain't gonna fall away. I ain't gonna fall away. I ain't gonna fall away. Guess I be the pressure when they beat around. So I'm blowing on the bitch, keep it even round. Looking at you niggas trying to get me down. Couldn't even see the picture if I do it now. Ain't even see me liquor, but I blow it down. Beat coming at the giggle when the news sound. Try to put you on, but you gotta bounce. Niggas try to get you with a clown when you out of town. If you hit me on the phone, gotta bow down. We gon' put you on the side, you gon' foul down. Hating ass niggas wanna fight about you. Connect this to the streets, so I like them. Get you up there with a light shot. I'ma take time, no mind with a light shine. I'ma sip wine, feel fine with a bright shine. Just get in line in time. I'ma keep mine. Living on that shit, they had to get gone. I was living in the brick, I had to get on. She can get a dick and then she move on. Had to kick her at the crib, but don't shoot on. Stepping on the block with my boots on. Let her finna die, finna keep on. Trying to get by, why they keep on? The beat turn around, five, better keep on. Gotta fly with more cheese on me. Get that honey in the box with the bees on me. Most hot for the top, drop the keys on me. There ain't nothing that you got that be pleasing me. So you can take a shot at teasing me. She belongs to the block, but she needs me. I'm alone at the top, with the disease. I'ma go my way, I'm gonna fall away. 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 Keep talking, I'ma keep on. Talking on the phone, nobody won't let her come. Said that she can play me, now she alone. I just said it go right, nigga, like a drum. That nigga on, now he hot like a sun. Feel like a jump on, like a cat, like a banana. Yeah, you put the chrome, but he miss what he shot us. That's why I'm alone when I'm praying, I got her. He was eating like a bottle. Think about my uncle last night, put the bottle wood. You really try to hit me with a bottle wood. She got me looking at me like you got enough. She trying to get love. She don't really want love. She don't really want love. Ain't gonna fall away. 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 Everything is okay now. I'm living famous, I should've known. She had my back and she was my bone. Never knew how much she was alone. And so many days that she had to be strong. And I would be me and you on the phone. Sending me sex texts on the low. We had the best sex on the road. We be making the messes all on the floor. Me and you standing on 20 toes. We be in love and it really shows. We picking you up when you really know. And I know this life can get shitty though. And so I sit back with the vino. Put my seat back, put my feet down. Girl, you look good with them jeans on. Pitiful, look at me eating my squeeze on. Look at you eating your cheese on. It be longer than her when she is on. It be feeling that hurt when she gone. She be getting reverse back to the song. When they got together, they are alone. Birds of a feather, they fly along. She is the lyrics of my song. She is the appearance of my soul. She reflects in the mirror of my goal. Her and I love with no idols. Her and I be believing the Bible. We stay in the same, we be tribal. Little fingers be up in the Bible. Blowing this smoke, turtle pie hole. Reflection on them saying hi ho. We wait for the day of the Shiloh. Baby, you open my eyes. You was right next to me all along. You been holding me down when I was wrong. Remember I showed you that I was strong. When they tried to tell me I couldn't come home. And me and you talking about moving on. You living life like a movie zone. I'm just riding the wave like my Louis on. They just jacking your style, you got your reason. This feeling I feel living so long. Because you keep it real and be so calm. I love how I feel up in your arms. To the top of the hill and be no harm. Coming up at my heart to be your bars. And now we can see it from all bars. Looking up at ourselves and be all stars. Looking down at the earth and be all lost. Brother Chris in the building. Peace to you, Flocka lady. I'm just making my decision, yeah. I'm just making my decision. I'm just making my decision. Yeah, make your decision. But I'm just making my decision. I'm gonna go hard, I'm in the trench. I'm like Verlander when I pitch. I'm like Evander when I mid. I'm like a sender, got the grid. I'm like a candle, I get lit. I got the handle. I got 400 in this bitch. I'm below this sound like this. This sound like this. Fake it like you got my attention. You like BD mention. You got name that you won't mention. You got vision for precision. Put you right in no position. I was built for this collision. I'm just making my decision. 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 Fuck the world. I'm just making my decision. One night when I jumped in the Audi, got flicked by a cop and I kept going. Tell me you were locked in the box, I was sleeping on the car, I did not want to keep going. And even mine get deep on. Going to the mine and get a beam on. I'm a bit of rap to the lean on. Rise up to the top, get keen on. Talking that shit like a Klingon. I make her lips pop like ping pong. Just a little thing like a neon. Make that thing stay wet with neon. I keep it cold like a freon. I should be keeping the cold like she peon. Be licking at you like a peon. Shorty be coming at you like a peon. Yeah, I'm just making my decision, yeah. I'm just making my decision, yeah. I'm just making my decision. Yeah. Okay.
It's a good fly.
Yeah. Feels so good. I'm feeling so good cause I got the keys. I'm in about that hood cause I finally made it. I'm gonna do what I should cause I'm dedicated. I'm gonna read out the book and you can't debate it. Saying the truth but I'm meditating.
My boy said I'm gonna read out the book and you can't debate it. Let me start this shit back from the beginning, little flop. Let me start this back from the beginning. Sealed by the Most High. I'm feeling so good because I got the keys coming up out the hood because I finally made it. I'm gonna do what I should because I'm dedicated. I'm gonna read out the book and you can't debate it. Nigga, tell me I ain't got the spirit.
I'm feeling so good because I got the keys
coming up out the hood because I finally made it. I'm gonna do what I should because I'm dedicated. I'm gonna read out the book and you can't debate it. Saying the truth when I'm meditating at the top of the room when I'm elevating. Feeling the doom, try to shake it, walking up out the tomb. I'm about to take it. Hearing the boom, you gotta fake it. You a fool if you fucking say it. I'm gonna chill and walk blowing Gary Payton. Play a bitch that left like a lemonade. I got a cake, but I never save it. I got a cake, but I never save it. I got a cake, but I never save it. Turn on the diamond, got recollected.
So my diamond, I recollected.
I'm about to shine because I'm elected.
Put all these diamonds up in my neck.
I got an alignment that got affected. I'll be the light that I'm reflecting. Out of the night that I was left in. Hey! Coming to fight cause I got the lesson. Got me shining so bright cause I got the flash. I'm the grass and the right cause I got the lesson. You see it through you like you be professional. You've been worshiping the wrong complexion. You see it through you like you be professional.
Red and law and now it's all connected.
Roman ball and now it's all affected.
I watch them fall like they all affected.
I cut when I talk like a song shady. Talk when I talk like I'm Michael Nelly.
They try to lock me up like I'm Nelly.
Me and Queen was getting down on the telly. He was starting to sweat it belly.
It was so hot in that bitch like Nelly. I was on team without a salad.
For all that shit that you trying to sell me. You niggas fake, I'm gonna be the real me.
I had to wake up off a sip. You niggas ain't got what it take to kill. You niggas ain't got what it take to beat. You niggas ain't got what it take to feel. Guess I got the chill. Just let me know when you got the bill. And I'ma let you know when I got the meal. Nigga got the bag and I got the wheel. Coming right back when we got the feel. Now we never lack cause we got the deal. Shorty got my back and I got the shield. Just get back but they try to steal. They know so back there about the deal.
Portia say, who this goofy? Who this goofy on this live stream? Yeah, I can be. I'm peculiar. I'm unique. I'm set apart. I'm holy. In a world full of lames and dead people, I'm alive. So yeah, I might seem strange. All right, little flock, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and get started here, little flock. All right. Now, before we get started reading in the scriptures, I want to bring something interesting to the forefront before we get into the lesson. And what that is you guys that have come here to the School of Marvelous Light, something had already happened to you before you came here. It wasn't like you guys were just, you flocculators that is. It wasn't like you were just living life and you didn't know something was wrong already. And then before you even knew anything was wrong, you met me here at the School of Marvelous Light. No, that's not the way it works. You already knew something was going on. Abba had already caused a change to take place in you before you saw me before he brought you, because he's the one that draws you. Before he drew you to me, there was already a change that took place, right, Little Flock? And if you guys can attest to this, go ahead and put it up there in the chat. Because like I said, we live on a plane. We live in a great plane where everything is fair, equal, with equity for everybody to understand everything equally. Brother Hank in the building. Peace, peace to you, brother. Glad to see you here today. So you guys are all attesting to this. Now, isn't that strange that I haven't actually gone to where you guys are, but yet I know all of this about all of you, wherever you may be scattered? Isn't that strange? First of all, like I told Portia, I'm a unique man. I'm interesting. You see, the world isn't interesting. There's nothing new under the sun. So how is it interesting? Interesting means it's something new. Well, how do you get new? Yahusha said, I make all things new. See? So you guys all understand that there was a change that took place in you. So when we get into these scriptures, you're going to understand why that change took place before you met me. Because I know that a man has to have this change take place before he'll ever see me. Before he'll ever see me. You see, because there's a time after that change takes place where you will see me. And there's a unique moment in your life when you'll see me. And I want you to know that moment in your life. You see it, Little Flock? So that when these things start to play out in your life, then you know the man that told you this wasn't lying to you. That he was just straight up telling you the truth, like he said when he said, didn't you already have a change take place in you already before you got here? Y'all like, yes, every last one of you are admitting this is so, right? Well, there's a reason for it, and we're going to get into it. Let's go to the book of Joel first. Joel chapter 3. Let's start there. And then we're going to flocculate like we always do, Little Flock. There was a unanimous decision there, guys. Every last one of you said, yeah, man. Yep, something had already happened with me first. And then I saw you some kind of way. Because like I said, I'm hard to find, man. You see what I'm saying? A diamond in the rough. It's very difficult to find it. It's a pearl of great price. This truth that I'm willing to give for free. You see? That's how I got it. That's the only way I can give it. You see? And before I get into this, Little Flock, I would have you know that the way a man treats you is in direct relationship to how he's treated. It's in direct relationship to how he's treated. And the only way a man can treat you good, you see, be honest, be trustworthy, be have integrity, be loyal. The only way he'll be those things to you is he had to have experienced it or saw it and witnessed it. How will he see and witness such things? He must be brought to the Father. So once the Father reveals these qualities to him and he has received it in himself, like grace, he's received mercy, he's received patience and long suffering unbelievably. So then that tells him how he treats his brother. So the only one who will truly be patient with his brother is one who knows God. One who knows God, that God is love and love is patient. See how it goes? Like the Legos, clickety, 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 clickety. See? That's how you know you're on the right track. When it go clickety, 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 clickety. If it don't click, then it ain't the right piece to be put there. Or like the puzzle, it don't fit. And I know sometimes people try to make that piece fit. You have a 1,000-piece puzzle. You've been working on it for like 2 or 3 weeks. You got this one little piece and you're like, I know it goes here. Got a microscope shit, looking all at the spot. Yeah, it's the right shape. Okay. Goes there. You're pressing it. It just doesn't go in there. You're trying to force it. You're trying to force it. But he believes that it's there. Then all of a sudden later on, he finds that other piece that he dropped on the floor. Oh, shit. That's the one that goes there. Yeah. Yeah. You see what I'm saying, little flacculators? Brother P said, after many back and forths, I found your channel randomly. Of course. course, that's the way it goes. Brian Cummings in the building. Peace to you. That's the way it goes. You see, Abba said, if you seek, you'll find. Y'all were seeking something. Y'all all were seeking, obviously, the same thing, because y'all all found the same thing, didn't you? Yeah. And what did you find? The truth. And it opened up your eyes. You saw the truth. That's what happened. And now your eyes been open. And so now when you look at the word of God, you look at it totally different than you used to. Y'all be looking at the Bible like, there's talking about a woman there. I know exactly what that means. And it's talking about this man here. Okay, so then I know what that means. It's talking about the wind was blowing real hard that day. So then I know what that means. It's also talking about there's a boat being tossed on some water. I know what that means. It also talks about some people being brought down to a river Jordan, and there's a man there named John the Baptist, and he's baptizing people in that Jordan, because I know what that means now too. I also read here about the grandson of God that people seem to overlook, which is the third part of the plant, because we all say we serve Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God. We don't just say Abraham's God or Isaac's God or Abraham and Isaac's God. We say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God, and there's significance there that I didn't know. But now that I've come here, now that I see it, I can see it clear as day. Just like that word in the Bible that says the branch, and it's all capital letters, and I just overlooked it because I didn't understood what it meant. And then I had men lying to me, and they didn't even know it. It was never even brought up, even though it was in all capital letters. Now that y'all understand what I'm saying here? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? The veil has been lifted when you get here. So this is what I'm getting into. Even now, watch this, guys. Watch this. You all said that there was a change that took place in you before you got to me. Now that you got to me, is there a veil been removed and now you can see more? Has that happened? Even though the change had taken place, there has been another change taking place since you've come to me. Just be honest. See what I'm saying? See what I mean? Now, the reason why I'm asking you guys this is because when we read in the Bible, it's going to become crystal clear, like you guys said. See? Skeedly deedly dee. Can you understand me? Why? Because I make that shit clear. So crystal clearly. Who told me to sing that song? You guys decide who told me to sing it. But it ain't like it's a lie, because that's what I'm doing. You feel me, little flockulators? You feel me? All right. So things have become clearer. You see that? Brother Skill in the building. So even though a change had taken place and you were able to see better, now that you've come here, you see even better. So that means that there was 2 baptisms that took place in you, correct? You were baptized, then you came here and you got baptized again, correct? Like I said, you guys just confirm, so that when we read the Bible, it won't be like what you're confirming is a fluke. Once you confirm it, you'll say, well, gush, gosh, dadgum golly. That means that this is the time on the clock where this takes place. That's what I want you to know. I don't come bringing bad news, little flock. I come bringing good news. That's why my feet looking real good. I'll have to show y'all one day. That's why my feet look good, because I bring good news when I come. You hear what I'm saying, little flock? You hear it? Brother Vaughn in the building, just in time, my brother. Just in time. Brother Brian says, I know my people when they speak. That's right. That's what the scripture says. They said a deceiver or a liar, they will not hear. They won't even listen. They'll be like, nah, can't listen to him. He's talking deception or lies. Therefore, I can't listen. See, other people, they hear other stuff that makes them not listen, instead of the deception and lies. A person in this world, they will let somebody deceive them and lie when they talk, as long as they talk clean, soft-spoken and buttery, and words like honey. But what the scriptures say about when a man speak like he got honey on his tongue? What's in his heart? That's my question. What's in his heart, little flock? Okay. So like we said, there was one change took place, and then you came here, and then another change took place. That's two baptisms. You see what I'm saying, little flock? That means two baptisms took place. Now, let's get into the word of God. Let's just see what we find. Let's just see what we find. Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days, and at that time, see what I'm telling you about the time? So it's good that you have somebody to tell you the time. It's like an alarm clock. You sleep, sometimes you oversleep. You don't mean to. That's why you set the alarm clock. You didn't have any intention of oversleeping, but sometimes you just do. And so the alarm clock come on, be like, wake your ass up. Wake your ass up. Get up. Get up. You're about to be late for work. Didn't they say you was on a 90-day watch? Nigga, they coming to get your job. You better get your ass up. I remember one time, little flock, speaking of that, just to show you how everything is just true. One day back in the world when I was still laboring in the 3D, back in, I don't know what year was this, 2012, I believe. I had just got a new job, a good job, right? Good paying job and everything. And I had just got married and started a family. So it was good, the timing when I got this job. It was right on time, right? Because Abba does everything right on time. So I'm getting to the job. Now they had this 90-day window of time where you can't miss a day or be late or whatever. And after the 90 days, then you're considered, locked in, and you can have some vacation days, and you can untighten your ass a little bit, if you know what I mean. So I'm doing good, man. I'm like at 80 days. I ain't did nothing. I ain't missed nothing. I'm doing my job all extra diligent and everything. And then one day I got tired. See, I'm laying there asleep one day. I wake up, I look at the clock, and I'm supposed to be at work at 6, and my job starts at 6 o'clock a.m. So I wake up, it's 5:50. I'm like, 5:50. Now, luckily, the job wasn't very far away, but it was far enough away. So I jump up. Oh, shit. I mean, I just grab any old clothes, throw them things on, grab my keys and everything, kind of grab something that's put in my mouth as I drive down the driveway, skirting up the damn street and everything. And at this time, I got an old Chevy S10 pickup truck. Like I said, I just started the job, so I ain't have my funds up good yet, y'all. I had a little hoopty truck, right? Like a little lowrider. And I'm driving this truck, and I'm driving it, pushing it to the limit because I don't want to mess up, man. I need to have my shit on point. So I'm driving this shit. I'm driving up the freeway fast as hell. Sun ain't even come up yet. I still got sleep in my eyes and shit, eating a banana and shit. Come on, man, get there. It's not even possible I'm going to make it on time, but I'm just trying. All of a sudden, the engine blew. Or a piston rod. I think I threw a piston rod. So it clunk, 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 clunk. It's making the sound like this, and power is just getting lower and lower and lower. So I pull over on the shoulder on the freeway. I'm like, now my ass is super tight. I'm like, I tried to get there on time, but now I've made matters worse. Oh, Abba, help me. You see? So I'm sitting there all stressing and everything. So I call my boss and I'm like, hey, I'm on the side of the freeway. I'm trying to get there and everything. Had car trouble. My engine got messed up. I ain't going to be able to make it on time. Can you look out for me? He was like, yeah, I got you, man. Don't worry about it. He said, you going to be able to get here? I'm like, well, maybe I will. He said, well, I'll come pick you up, or I'll send somebody to come pick you up just where you at. So I told him, which was not very far from the job. And he sent somebody to come get me. And I went on and got to work, and it was all good. And I got another car and everything. But the point was, look at all of what I was going through. Heart beating and shit. Y'all know it. My heart was beating all hard. I'm on the freeway. Come on, the engine. Don't blow. Don't do it. Oh, shit. Why didn't I just lay down and just relax and then brush my teeth, take a shower and everything, put my clothes on, call my boss? Hey, man, I had an issue, man. I'm not going to be able to make it on time. Hey, I'll cover for you. That's all that would have happened. That's all that did happen. But look at what I was going through, little flock. Just thought I'd share that little story of experience with y'all. So I know what I be talking about when I be talking, little flock. All right. So now, Joel chapter 3. So behold, in those days and at that time, well, what's going to happen? Well, let's see, little flock, what's going to happen. When I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Now, what have I told you that means? Judah and Jerusalem. Judah means to praise I am, or I am praising, or I praise. I am praise. However you want to phrase. That's what it means. You see what I'm saying, little flock? And Jerusalem means the city of peace. So when you're dwelling internally in a state of peace and calm, then you can praise Abba, because that's the state of being that Yahushua's in. When he's praising I am, he's in the state of being of calm and peace. Correct? Remember, I told you guys about the sea and the waves and how that makes a man feel, but how did it make Yahushua feel? Nothing. That's what he was doing. See the peculiar guy, the strange one, the one that don't make no sense. What's up with this dude? He's different. He said he's not of your world. Why'd you expect him to be like citizens of your world? Why would you expect him to be? And that was the problem for us, little flock. We were trying to be citizens of this world, but our citizenship is not written here. You're aliens. And that's actually the word the Bible uses to describe you. You're sojourners and pilgrims and aliens and strangers. And you are not of this world. So then why are you trying to act like you is? This world do this. This is thriller night. Whatever the hell. That's this world. So while they doing all that, you're just sitting there doing like this. You don't dance along with these zombies to a dead tune, to a dead world full of dead people. It's proving you're not of this world if you're alive. Did you know you were in the land of dead people? Were you aware of that? I would advise you to read Ezekiel again. Okay? So now, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So the praisers have been held down. The praisers have been living in fear. They have been living in doubt. That's how you live when you don't know. And why did God say his people are destroyed? My people are destroyed for what reason? And then let's see if what it says in that part where it says my people are destroyed. Let's see if it coincides with what Yahushua said when he was on the cross. That's right, Brother Cut. For a lack of knowing. That's right, Brother Chuck. For a lack of knowledge. What did he say on the cross, Brother Chris? Because they don't know. Lack of knowledge. That's right, Brother Vaughn. That's right, Brother Hank. See how we're all one? You see how we're one? I mean, isn't it obvious? When a question is asked, everybody gives the same answer. Now, there's a reason for that. Abba spoke a word to me when I woke up this morning. I woke up, it was pretty early, it was still dark and everything. And sometimes, you know how you just wake up and you feel like you're wide awake, and then you go back to sleep again. And you're like, was I awake? Did I wake up? Well, that's what happened to me this morning. And when I woke up, I heard a word spoke directly to me, Echad. And then I went back to sleep. What does Echad mean? And then you'll understand why I'm telling you guys this when I said you guys are all answering the same way. What does Echad mean? That's right, Brother Cut. It means one. That's right, Brother Skill. It means one. So then how is it used? To describe what? Just one thing? Or does it mean many things that agree in one? Or in other words, unity. My Brother Cut and Brother Skill, how do you say unity? That's right, brother Chris. That's right. That's right, guys. Every last one of you. See what I'm saying? And there's a reason for this. There's a reason for it. That's what I want you guys to get excited about what I'm about to tell you. Ahdul. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. One. One. Unity. All one. So then when we were told about Echad in the scripture, what were we told? Hear, O Israel. See, not just any kind of people. It's a certain type of people from the four corners of the earth. Through Abraham, all nations shall be blessed. See? But they're unified in mind and in heart. That's what makes them a nation. And that's what should make any nation a nation. But that's been broken in nations, little flock. They're not one in heart and in mind. They disagree. There's disarray and discord. And you guys know if a house is divided, it surely can't stand. So the division is occurring, like Yahusha said, I don't come to send peace on earth. See? I don't come to send peace on earth, but a sword of division. You hear me, little flockulators? And so it is. While they're being divided, we're being unified. That's what he means about bringing again the captivity of a certain type of people. The people that praise I am and that stay in a peaceful state of mind and a peaceful state of feeling, despite what it looks like around them. Those are brave men. That's the army of I am. That's the army of heaven. That's what allows them to be brave. Because an earthly man is a coward, period. I don't care what he thinks. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he done said. He's a coward. Because he lives on outward appearance. And outward appearance livers are cowards. That's simple. When it goes wrong, then they go wrong. But we're not like that. When it goes wrong, we stay right. And not only do we stay right, we command the thing that went wrong to get right. Bitch, get your ass right. That's what we do. Because we do have a weapon. We don't just have defense armor on. We do, but that's not all we have on. We also have a sword. And I told you guys about the sword when it says it's a two-edged sword and it's sharper than any blade. And it cut through the bone and the marrow, exposing the intents of the heart. I told you what that means. If you're afraid, then what you say will cut through and expose that you're afraid. It will cut through every other thought that I had and expose. This guy's afraid. Look at what he just said with his mouth. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Stop playing, man. Y'all can't play with this. All right? So now, Abba's doing a thing at a certain time. Y'all see that, little flockulators? Okay. I will also gather all nations. Listen up good, little flock. Listen up good. Perk them ears up nice and good. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat. Y'all hear that there, little flock? My brothers, cut, skill. What that word Yehoshaphat mean? Let's see what that word means, little flock. We like to unveil things because we're kings, and that's what kings do. Okay, I am judging. Y'all hear that, little flock? So then you see what Abba just said? When I'm going to release my people out of their captivity, then I'm going to gather all nations of people, and I'm going to bring them down to the valley of judgment. You hear that? Abba's going to judge all nations. You hear it? At the same time when he's saving his people. Now, how can I prove to you that God is saving his people? Because he has returned his name to them, which is their identity, their heritage. He has returned their name and the knowledge of the truth of their sin. And once they saw their sin, now they can repent. And now that we see our sins, we repent every single day. And we die to the old way we used to think. Is that correct? So then that means that somebody has done that for us, has opened our eyes to this, has illuminated our minds to it. You see it? At this time. And it's happening all over the earth. Not just in one place, but all over. You hear what I'm saying to you? So now, what is Abba going to do when he gathers these nations? And I will plead with them there for my people. What did Moses say to Pharaoh? What's the famous words that Moses spoke when he spoke to Pharaoh? Let my people go. Right, little flock? Right, little flock? Mr. Salty, I haven't really been paying attention to the chat much, but I am now. And let me see what you said here. If it's not clear to you what we're doing here, then I feel sorry for you. And if you misunderstand what's happening here, then there's nothing I can do for that. So you may as well just skedaddle, or we can help you. So continuing. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, like I said, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and have parted my land. So they scattered God's people, and Abba's going to deal with the nations for what they've done. You scattered my people. Can I have my people back? Like I said, what did Moses say? Let my people go. Let them go. You see? Well, if you're trying to learn more about cults, then you're in the wrong place. You ever went to McDonald's and asked for a Whopper? Who looks stupid? The cashier or the one asking for the Whopper at McDonald's? Let's continue. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot. Y'all hear that? They cast lots for my people and they give a boy for a harlot. A harlot means a prostitute. So they're using the children of God as prostitutes in this world. That's why he said, don't be friends with it. And he said to hate it. He did say that. And love not the things of it. Because the things of the world are not of God, not of love. Using a boy as a prostitute is not love. Isn't that obvious? So let's continue and see what else it says. And having given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. You hear that? Yeah. And what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Tyre and Zidon, who are they? Canaanites. He says, what do you have to do with me, you Canaanites? And all the coast of Palestine. Y'all hear that, little flock? All the coast of Palestine. What do y'all have to do with me? Y'all ain't my people. You hear that, little flock? A lot of people about to get in their feelings when they hear that part. Doesn't matter. It's there. I'm just reading what the page says. Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Y'all know what recompense means, right? What does recompense mean? Oh, it's no problems, Mr. Salty. You were just at the wrong restaurant. It's all good. We just don't have what you like. But I'm sure down the way, there's many cults out there. So it won't be long before you can find one that you can sit back with your popcorn and twiddle your toes watching them and learning about them. I'm sure there are many. But that's just not what you're going to find here. That's right, Brother Cut. Payback, a reward, payback, some get back. You see that? Okay? Some get back. So he says, will you render me a payback? And if you pay me back swiftly and speedily, will I return your payback upon your own head? Do you hear how Abba's talking? Because you have taken my silver and my gold. I want y'all to hear that, little flock. He's talking to the nations and he's judging them. He said, you took my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. So the things that were in Israel, in God's temple, were pillaged, taken from there, and put into somebody else's vault or museum or shrine or temple. Now, did that happen? You guys ever heard of the Arch of Titus? I reference it all the time. What do you see happening on the Arch of Titus? You can Google it. It'll tell you. Roman general Titus Vespasian sacked Jerusalem 70 AD. And when they sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD, they pillaged. And part of that pillaging was what? That's right, Brother Cut. Treasures. That's right, Brother Skill. They took it all. And then they made a memorial to it called the Arch of Titus. And when you look at the Arch of Titus, you see Roman legionnaires. You guys know what a legionnaire is, right? It's a Roman soldier. And you see them carrying what's called menorahs. Now, you guys all know what people is synonymous with the menorah. Not a Roman legion. So why in the hell is he running with a damn menorah over his head, running? Why is that carved on there? That kind of stuff. You see them with the censers and the gold and the utensils. You see that all in the Arch of Titus, and they're all happy celebrating taking it. They're taking it from one place to another. Well, we just heard that they're taking it from Jerusalem. Where are they taking it to? What's known today as what? The Vatican? Interesting. Roman. Catholic. Roman. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Of course, brother Chris. That's right. That's the mystery. When he says gold and silver, he's not speaking about actual gold and silver. That's right. He's speaking about us. We're the gold and silver. No doubt about it. So when you see this representation of one thing being taken from one place to another, and then you see the pride of the people who did it by etching it in stone and memorializing it, do you see? There's a reason for all of that. And we're reading it right now. This is why God's dealing with the nations. You see? Because they took his gold and his silver. Represented with that picture I'm telling you about. Which represents them taking the children of Israel captive. God don't give a damn about a golden censer or a golden menorah that a man made. He doesn't care. What he cares about is his people. That's what I sang the song for. Let my people go. You hear me, little flock of ladies? That's true. Don't mock the Most High, because he won't be anyway. He won't be. So let's continue. Let's continue. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, Greeks. Have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. You see that, little flock? That you may remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Like I say, there's always things in the world to show us what God's word is telling us. The spiritual is what's real, but there are always going to be signs he's going to give, or there's going to be evidences that he's going to show to represent a higher principle. Just as he speaks in parables, life is parables. Do y'all understand what I mean? You see something, it means something. The thing you see is not what it is. It means something that is. Do you see what I'm saying? So it is here, what we're reading here. He says they took them far from their borders and they sold them. So then, like I said, you have a representation of that right here in America. You have the so-called Negro brought far from his border, see, shackled, auctioned, cast lots, auctioned off, 25, 25, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, sold to the man from California, to Carolina. Go ahead, that's your new master now. Nigga walk down with a yoke of iron upon his neck, just like Deuteronomy said would happen. See? Because sometimes the hard-headed people need to see something to understand it. That's what this first thing I'm telling you about, this first transition you guys went through. This first transition you guys went through was about seeing something, recognizing it. You have to see it. When you saw your sin, that's when you went, shit, right? Right? You can't repent if you can't see it. You can't humble if you can't see your sin for what it actually is. But that's the first transition you went through. Oh, shit, I see my sin. That's the reason for that. And we're going to get into it, little flock. I don't want to spoil it, so that's why I'm saving it, okay? So you took my good, pleasant things, okay? You removed them far from their border, but I will raise them out of the place where you sold them, and I will return your recompense upon your own head. So it's the same thing that says in Revelation where it says, they who lead into captivity shall go into captivity, right? That's called recompense for leading a people into captivity, right? Yeah. So since God's people are spiritual, they were being led off by carnally minded ministers, by carnally minded pastors, by carnally minded so-called prophets. They were being carried off with those false teachers, you see, which means being led into bondage. And so a spiritual teacher returns to call those who are lost back home to their truth again, that they are free. Why do you think I keep saying it in every message? I am free. Why do you think that's my song I sing all the time? That it doesn't matter what the world says. I am is what it is. Why do you think that's what I'm saying? If what I'm telling you guys right now is not true, it's because it is true. You see it? You see it? Like a criminal taking a selfie on the scene of the crime and leaving it there. Well, what does the Bible say, man? Your pride has deceived you. You thought that no one could bring you down. That's what you read in the Bible. That's the time we're in right now. Our enemy thinks that they're so powerful that no one's spiritual. That's what they think. There aren't any spiritual lights left. We've got them all carnally minded. We don't care if they keep the law of Moses. They can do that. As long as they think they're doing righteousness, that's all that matters to us. They don't need to do righteousness. They just need to think they are. What a great deception. It's one thing to lead a person into sin that they know is sin. That's not a good deception because he's going to rebel. But if you lead him into sin that he doesn't know is sin, he actually thinks is righteousness. Oh my goodness. Now you got a good deception. Correcti or no? All right, little flock. So let's continue. So Abba says he's going to pay them back. So if anybody wants to know what the payback is like, let's keep reading. Let's just see. I will sell your sons and your daughters. Who is he talking to? All nations. All nations were in cahoots against God's people. All nations were in confederate. Did you read Psalm 83? Well, maybe you should read it again. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, the ones that praise, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for I have spoken it. So if he's spoken it, then it will be done. You see it? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. See what I mean about the time, little flock? This is why I'm telling y'all exactly what I'm telling y'all. He says, prepare war. You hear that, little flock? Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. So what is Abba saying to the world right now? When he turned us on, he didn't just turn us on for no reason. He didn't turn our lights on for no reason. He turned our lights on so we can get to slicing and dicing. Prepare war. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Iniquity of the fathers means they taught their children carnal things were important. And that made their children become unbalanced scales, always trying to work hard to get more. They have no time to care about anybody else because all they care about is getting more. So that's iniquity. Do you see it? Hope you do. Hope you do. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let the men of war draw near and let them come up. So what that means to us, little flock, like I said, he turned our lights on for a reason so we can slice and dice. So in order to slice and dice, there's going to be some enemies that are going to come rushing and surrounding us. You see it? It doesn't happen until the grandson is born. That's why I keep telling it to y'all. So then if somebody's looking at me say that doesn't have any knowledge or understanding, and he's destroyed because of knowledge that he doesn't have, then he's going to look at me and go, who the hell? This guy is just some guy. And you guys see people saying it to me all the time. Who the hell is this guy? Look at this weird ass dude. Hey, man, damn, what are you doing just sitting there in your car talking, man? What the fuck is this guy doing? Oh, y'all hear what I'm saying? So if he's like that, then that's like a nigga looking at Noah, isn't it? Saying, what the fuck is this guy talking about? It's not going to rain. We're not living in that time. It never happened before. It ain't going to happen. Splash. Oh, shit. Noah. Hey, Noah. Let me get up in that ark, man. Come on, man. Open the door. Noah ain't opening shit because he ain't the one closed the door. Did you read when it said that God sealed him in there? I'm feeling so good because I got the keys coming up out the hood because I finally made it. I'm going to do what I could because I'm dedicated. I'm going to read out the book and you can't debate it. Because I'm sealed. Y'all see what I'm saying? I hope you do. So now it's wartime. Beat your plowshares into swords. See, plowshares is peace. He says you're changing from peace to war. So flockulators, you had a peaceful time to eat, to get your belly rubbed all on for 7 years. Like the 7 years Joseph told you all about. And then Abba went on further because he expects you to be spiritual at this point in the game. So then he says to you, guess what? Let me slow down. Because I'm about to say something that's spiritual that most people just don't get. Then Abba says to you, it's time to transition and become spiritual. No longer carnal. There was a time when you understood things as carnal, like Paul said. I thought as a child. I spoke as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put childish things away. So when he says pick up your sword now, it's time for a man to stand up and put his childish things away. His carnal things. His childish thing. What I eat is wrong. You'll get killed on the battlefield saying that shit. Because you got to know what kind of warfare you in. Oh my God, I busted a nut today. God's not going to love me anymore. You'll get killed on the battlefield saying that kind of shit. Oh my God, I didn't keep the Sabbath day. I turned the eye of the stove on after the sun was down. Oh, God's going to kill me. You're going to get killed then. Do y'all understand what the grandson's preparing you for? And then once you accept that that's the preparation, then you'll see all the work I've been doing. Then you'll understand it perfectly. You'll say, I understand exactly what this man is doing. I understand exactly what Abba has called him to do at this time in the world. There's a flood of enemies coming, but he's going to lift the standard. And Abba told you who the standard was. There's going to be a man who's going to be an ensign. He's going to tell you the standard. Only to the elect. Only to those who are called to do it. Because you had to be called in order to hear this elect man say this. The servant said. You already had to be elect. Y'all see? And we're going to prove that as we get further into this message. What did Brother Henry Eberhard say? I didn't see it. Okay, something about mocking. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. So let's continue, little flock. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen. Gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Oh, I am. Do you hear this, little flock? So then I was saying, bring your best guys out. Bring your champions out because I already got my army loaded up. That's us, guys. We're the army he's got loaded up with the ammunition that he always tells Satan, test my man if you think you can beat him. Test him. You guys didn't read about Job. Was Job at war with Satan? I'd say he was, but he didn't curse God, so then he didn't die. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys not to do. Don't curse God. Then you won't die. I don't give a damn what that enemy's saying to you. I don't give a damn. Sing my song if you need to. I'm not offended by y'all using the N-word, because that word don't mean a damn thing to me. Matter of fact, while I'm on this subject, let me give y'all a tad bit of wisdom about that N-word. There's a word in the Hebrew called nega. Let's just get some wisdom today. There's a word called nigga in the Hebrew. That word means marked or leprosy, unclean. Do you see how subconsciously the Hebrew is offended by being called nigga by other folks? Because the word means leprosy. It means unclean. So then the irony of that is that the ones who had leprosy, watch how this all played out. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just telling the truth. The ones who had leprosy, what is the mark of leprosy? When you look at a person, how do you know they have it? What color is their skin? Watch how it goes, little flock. That's right, Brother Cut. It means disease. It means virus. See? Do you see? Nigga. So watch what I'm telling you. To be leprous means your skin turns what color? That's my question. That's right, Brother Vaughn. It turns white. That's the mark of leprosy. So do you see why a person that would be leprous would flip what he was being called? You guys follow what I'm saying? This is what I mean. If there were a bunch of brown-skinned people and there was a white-skinned brown person among them, his skin turned white, they would call him nigga. They would call him nigga. Wouldn't they? According to the knowledge we've just brought to the surface. If there were a bunch of brown-skinned people and then one of them turned white all of a sudden, then they would call him nigga, right? Am I right or am I wrong? They'd be like, you nigga, you nigga, you nigga. And this is so-called black people, brown folks that would be saying this about a person who has turned white. So then when slavery came around, do you see the point I'm making? When slavery came around, then those so-called dark people were being called unclean, virus, leprous. You're dirty. See how they're flipping it? That's all it means. You're just calling somebody unclean. And that's why so-called dark-skinned people get upset when so-called white people call them that. But everything is equal and balanced. There was a time when dark-skinned people called white people that word, nigga. That's why it's flipped on you now. Y'all understand? Ain't nothing new under the sun. That's why you ain't got to take things so seriously. Because it ain't that big of a deal. Once you got knowledge, then you ain't destroyed by what a nigga said to you. If you supposed to be singing a song, I don't give a damn what a nigga said, then how the hell did you get offended when somebody call you a nigga? If you don't give a damn what a nigga say, you hypocritas cucarachas. You hear me today? All right. All right. So back to the word. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of decision or valley of judgment or valley of I'm about to choose. For there will I sit to judge, see, all the heathen round about. So when Abba calls all of these heathens to surround, what are they surrounding? These mighty men, these heathens, what are they surrounding, little flock? Yep, that's right, Brother Cut. That's right. That's how the Negro has been looked at for the past couple hundreds of years, especially when he was in slavery. He was looked at as a virus. He was called 3/5 of a man, guys. Like I said, there's no need for us to be in our feelings about it. Can we just at least talk about the truth and be honest? I've been saying it for years, but people get too sensitive. Oh man, he's talking about the truth. Because what else can you say I'm talking about? Stuff that make y'all uncomfortable? Well, a servant of God, should he make you uncomfortable by what he says, or should he make you comfortable? Read your Bible, it'll tell you. Read your Bible, and it'll tell you. Okay? That's right, y'all. That's right. Surrounding the heart, which is Jerusalem, the city of peace. So that means they're coming to surround what then? Come on, use some wisdom today, little flocculate, flocculate, like I always say. That means your enemy is coming to surround what? And then watch how you see how clear this warning from God is that's going out here at the School of Marvelous Light. You will see it. You won't be able to deny it. You'll be like, it's just true. It's just true. So if they're surrounding Jerusalem, then what does that mean? That's right, Brother Vaughn. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. But guess what, guys? Do you know how we got in here? How we got into the spiritual mind? Now, I told you guys already. There were 2 baptisms. You had already had to be baptized in order for you to come to me. But then when you come to me, you're going to get a second baptism. That baptism is the baptism of what? That's right, Brother Skill. The baptism of fire. You see that? That's right, Brother P. So the first baptism was water. The second baptism you're going to have is fire, which has happened to you when you come to the School of Marvelous Light. Do you see? That's right, Brother Vaughn. That's exactly what it is. Thank you for saying that, because that's the fire required for a man to get into the spiritual mind. That's the baptism that he must be baptized with. See it? That cup of suffering and seeing my sin. That's right. That's right. That's a baptism of fire. Now, when you come out of that state, you're pure gold, but you're going to have to go through a lot of pain before the gold come. You're going to have to go through a lot of being purified in and out of the fire, being purged. And like a rose bush, you have to have those dead roses cut off and those dead branches broken off so that you can thrive, even though it hurts when you get pruned. It hurts when you're going through the fire, but acceptable men are made in the furnace of adversity. See that, little flock? Suffering and seeing my sin. So then in order to get into the spiritual mind, you have to pass through what? Come on, let's cook. Let's cook so we can see just how safe we actually are here where we are. In order to get into the spiritual mind, you have to pass through what? A furnace. A great furnace separates these two minds. You see it? So just like the first baptism, you had to have the sea parted. Come on. You had to have the sea parted. And when it was parted, we walked through dry shod and we were baptized unto Moses. Come on now. I'm showing y'all the seasonings that's on this steak you chewing. They all passed through the Red Sea. You see it? But now there's a furnace. There's a gulf of fire that separates the carnal mind from the spiritual mind. And in order to get over there to the promised land, you have to pass through fire or wilderness. Now, how many of the Israelites went into the furnace? Come on and let's cook. How many Israelites went into the furnace? Remember, the furnace comes after the water. So after they came out of the Red Sea, they went to the wilderness. Now, how many went in? How many went in? And anybody, you guys may not know the exact answer, but give me a roundabout guess if you can. How many Israelites went in to the furnace of adversity? That's right, Brother Chris. All of them did. What about a number? Give me a roundabout number, guys, if you can. It was more than that, Brother Cut. It was more than that. Good. No, not that many. Not that many. No, not that quite that many. But remember, there were strangers with them, and mixed multitude also came. So that increased the number. But we're just talking about Israelites. So that would be, it was about 600,000 Israelites. Okay. And then, like I said, mixed multitude and strangers among them. So then about 600,000 Israelites went into the furnace. Now remember, it don't do you no good to go in. It do you good to go in and come out the other side. You see what I mean? Just like if you went to the Red Sea and just stood down there and just kept chilling. I'm staying here. Okay, you stay there if you want to. You're going to be looking like an Egyptian here in a second. You hear what I'm saying? You're going to be looking like an Egyptian in a second. Okay? So about 600,000 Israelites went in. Now, how many came out? Watch when you see the number. It's flabbergasting. You're going to be like, what? How many Israelites came out? 2. Did you guys hear that? 2. Did you guys hear that there? 2. That would be Joshua and Caleb. That's right, Brother Chris. You want it? See? 2 of the original. And then the children of the original that came out, that went through the wilderness and was born out there. Do you see what I mean? Now, that means that those Israelites that were born out there, when they came to go into the promised land, there were only 2 of the original for them to look to. There were only 2. Do you see it or do you see it? What did Revelation say about these witnesses? How many of them are there? Clickety click, wow. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I'd say it is. So now, salvation and his loyal friend, his faithful friend. You see? Brother Cut, break it down for us what that name Caleb mean. Caleb. What that name mean? Watch this little flock. Watch how it goes. Y'all see that little flock? It means dog. Now, what are the characteristics of a dog? Now, I'm not talking about the negative ones, y'all. We all know what those are. They may chew up your shoes and everything. I'm talking about the great qualities of a dog. They're loyal. They're faithful. They're a so-called man's best friend. They're humble as well. Do you see it, little flockulators? The dog is so humble. That nigga is chewing on an old Domino's pizza box that you left in the trash. You forgot it was there. He got to it and pulled it out and realized it was some cheese and a little piece of pepperoni in the corner. And the dog is over there eating, having a good time. And he's so good, he starts chewing on the cardboard. Starts tearing the cardboard up and everything. And you come walking in the house. That nigga hears the front door. He immediately stops. Nigga trying to scoot the pizza box up under the trash can and shit. You walk in the room, you're like, hey, Fido. Fido like, his ears are down. That nigga tail all tucked around everything. He's trying not to urinate. He's looking at you like, Esther, hi, I wasn't expecting you to be home so soon. Sometimes the little dog, you can see him shaking. The niggas be shaking and everything. The little glisten on their eyes. They're trying to get sympathy from you. It's hilarious because he's just a humble creature, man. He's just a humble dude that wants you to be pleased with him. He don't want to upset you. You see that? That's why he acts like that. Oh, shit. I tried not to, master, but it just kept calling me. And then we get mad at the dog when he kept getting called by the stinky shoe. But yet when we get called by stinky shoes, we don't want to give ourselves no grace. Just like we don't want to give the dog no grace. Sometimes you can't help but bite on a stinking shoe when you're in that state. Oh, shit, I have to have it. Give yourself some grace. Give your dog some grace, right? That's right. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's right, Brother Cut. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth, man. A dog, man, if you raise him right and love him, he'll protect your family, man. He'll protect your children. He won't even let a cat come around your kid. The dog like, hey. The dog hit the ground. You go over to somebody's house. You sit in their favorite chair. The dog's like, that's mama's chair. You're like, oh, I didn't know, doggy. I'm sorry. You step over out of his way, then you fucked around and stepped on dad's house shoe. The dog damn near bit your foot off. Hey, that's dad's shoe. You're not allowed to, you stranger. Don't you know the rules around here? Who the hell do you think you are? I mean, sometimes you can literally see it on the dog, the irritation. That nigga like, who is this damn stranger, man? Get out of here. Damn, I want to sit back on the couch again. Sheesh. You hear what I'm saying? So there's a reason why Abba used that. Joshua and Caleb were the only two of the 600,000. So do you see what I mean about that furnace? Now that proves a point, guys. What it proves is the only people that can make it through the fire are what? Well, what were the characteristics of Joshua and Caleb? I just told you what they are. I just told you what their characteristics are. They're loyal to what the truth is. What are they loyal to? I am in the promised land. That's what they're loyal to. Caleb was like, I'm willing to fight a nigga for my land. Well, why would you be willing to fight over something you don't have? That's the point. That's why he made it through the fire. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what being faithful like a dog will do. A dog doesn't even know where you're going when you start walking with him, guys, but he will follow you. He doesn't know where you're going, but he will certainly follow you, and he's happy to follow you. Do you guys understand? Did you guys not read about Elijah and Elisha too? Did you not read about them? And what Elisha said to Elijah? Wherever you go, I shall go. That's what's going to happen here. Elijah's like, go back home. Get out of here. Wherever you go, I will go. Now think about a dog. A dog is coming up. You got a piece of a sandwich or something. This loose dog's coming up. He's like, in other words, let me have a piece of that sandwich, please. And you break a piece and you toss him a piece. And then he comes a little closer, asks you for more. You go, get out of here, man. Stop. You got enough, man. Now leave me alone. And then he just keeps inching back towards you again. He's very persistent. But he's not just coming up snatching the sandwich out of your hand like a damn monkey would do. He's inching. He's all, tail is all down and his head is down and he's just inching towards you, just begging humbly. So do you understand? Do you understand? That's right, Brother Chris. Loyalty is faithfulness. That's right. Loyalty is like a fruit of faith. You see it? So then that's what you see. Salvation and then one in his bosom. In other words, a faithful, loyal compadre in your bosom. So Yahusha and then the one at the cross with him. It's never going to change, guys. It's never going to change. I'll ask you guys a question. Is John spiritually minded or is he carnal minded? The Apostle John, is he spiritual or is he carnal? Did you read Revelation, first chapter? That'll help you if you don't know. That's right, Brother Chris. I, John, was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. So that answers everybody's question, like I said. You hear me, little flock? That's right, spiritual. So then what does that mean? Only the faithful will make it through the fire and get into the promised land. Now, if you have been, watch what I'm about to tell you guys. Watch what I'm about to tell you. I don't want to say it unless I make sure I got all y'all attention. Give me a thumbs up or something. Or number one. Put a one in the chat to make sure we're all here at the plains because I'm about to give y'all something huge. You're about to see where the time frame in your life is at. You're about to see it. Carlton Hill's in the building. Peace to you, my bro. All right. So we all here at the plains, just grazing. All right. Now we all about to get this nugget. Okay. Now, I told you guys, you go through a baptism and then you're going to come to another guy and then you're going to go through another baptism and then you enter. You see it? So now, the children of Israel, they went to the Red Sea and they were all baptized to Moses. That was you guys. See what I'm saying to you? That was you guys. And then after that, you went through a period of time where you wandered from teacher to teacher, from information to information, to book to book, to website to website, to YouTube channel, and then all of a sudden, like Saul, you inquired. Then all of a sudden you stopped, and then your eyes were opened. That means you got the scales removed, which means you were cleansed by the renewing of your mind. That means that your mind still was carnal. But then when you heard the teaching that I teach here at the School of Marvelous Light, the carnality was put away, and the spiritual mind came clear to you. And now you have engaged your mind into that spiritual mind. In other words, you become married or one with the mind that is in Christ. And you can never return back now. You can never go back to beggarly things like Egypt. You can't. You guys can't. Which means you can't go back to thinking, oh, if I eat this, I'll be righteous. Not after you heard me talk to you, you can't, because you're baptized out of that. You still had some of that. Some of y'all still had some of that when you got here. But it's getting peeled away from you, isn't it? Or is it? Because if it's not, then stop listening to me and I'll go ahead and get off live. But if you guys say that it is happening, then I'll keep talking. Because if that's happening, then where does that mean you're standing right now? Skeet and deedly, can you understand me? Where that mean you standing? See? Do you see it? And it's not like one of y'all are saying it. It is unanimously the same every time. So then do you think I magically did that? I sprinkled some Sandman sauce on you while you were sleeping, Mr. Sandman. Grandson's gonna give you a dream. You're gonna wake up and go on YouTube and watch my video. I didn't know. I'm just out here talking. I'm just talking. I don't know who hear me, who see me. I don't know. I'm just talking. Because it's the word that's gonna do the work. That's gonna grab the spiritual ears. Because I'm here to grab the spiritual people that have been wandering in the desert. You see it for 40 years. Now, when something's going to happen, then that's when I come in, and I want you guys to see it clearly. Y'all hear it? Oh, Brother Carlton, no problem, my brother. Don't mention it, because it is Abba's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Is that not what he said? That's what he said. Okay, Brother Chris, you see it? You see it standing in the time when God gathers. You see? You see it? That Mr. Sandman song. Grandson's gonna give you a dream. Well, make sure it's a good dream. Shit, don't give me no damn nightmare, grandson. Shit. Because I'm gonna give a whole lot of heathens nightmares when they see me. They're gonna be like, oh God, don't sprinkle that shit on me, grandson. No, I don't want to have a dream. I don't want to. I'll be like, that's all y'all was talking about was dreams. I'm going to dream that I'm going to be the doctor of the year. I'm going to be the entertainer of all time. I'm going to be. And while you were talking about I'm going to be, I am. The hell with gonna be. Gonna be means that nigga ain't never. The hell with ain't never been. I want to be. So then I am. You hear me? That's simple. All right, little flock. So let's get more down into this meal. Like I said, I was going to prove it to you, so you don't have to wonder or worry. I was going to prove to you that what I'm telling you is true. Watch. So now, remember, he tells them to gather around us. Now, remember what I've told you just there, then, little flock. The enemies are all the carnally minded thoughts, all the carnal reasoning, all the carnal logic that the world has, all of its highfalutin information and intelligence. Hold on, guys. You know it's coming here. All of the guys that are like this when they stand on stage with a golden microphone upon his hand, when he talketh like this, and he has very eloquent speech and plenty of interesting things, he thinks, that he's telling to you when he has an ascot upon his breast. But when his ascot, he coughed and his ascot fell off. All of a sudden he got dumb as hell. He couldn't say nothing worth a damn. Wait, where's my ascot? I need my ascot. And yes, like I was saying to you guys, no, nigga. No, nigga. See, literally, nigga, your ass is got leprosy in the brain. The hell with being white on the outside, that don't mean shit. Is your brain then turned white? You got leprosy up and now, because that's what we looking at. You hear me? All right, peace, brother P. See you on the flip side, my bro. Don't be sitting there waiting for that song to play. Grandson, you're gonna give me a dream, unless it's a good dream, like I said. But peace, my brother. Peace. Peace to you, Mo Love, from Albany, Georgia. Peace, Shotty. I think I said that yesterday. All right. So now we know they're surrounding us, but what separates them from us? Okay. When they surround us, what separates them from us? You'll see it's the same thing when they were in with the Egyptians. You'll see it's the same damn thing. That's right, Brother Chris. You noticed that? So then, since we know that, what do we know? We know that it takes humility and a man falling down before the Father, damn prostrate. We know it takes a broken, contrite heart to enter in. So then when we see a man who has pride, then we know that he cannot walk through the fire to get to where I am. In other words, he cannot have an elevated thought like I do, because he hasn't passed through the necessary valley in order to get to the necessary height, which is called Mount Zion, where we are. Don't you see me, little flockulators, telling you the truth today? Don't you see it? Okay. Brother Mo Love. I got a song called More Love. I got a song called More Love. All right. So now y'all got this picture in your head of being surrounded with the carnal thoughts, the carnal ideals of the world. You do this, you're wrong. You do that, you're going to die. You do this, you're going to die. How is that true if I'm in the promised land? Like Jonathan or like Joshua and Caleb mindset was. How could I have died out here if I'm already made it? See what I'm saying, guys, about how you think? Men are too faithless to think like that. How could I have made it if I'm still out here in the wilderness? Yep, that was the Israelites that died. That's the way that they talked. You see it? That's the way they were talking, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, so let's continue. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I judge the heathen round about. Verse 13. Put you in the sickle. Listen good, little flock. Like I said, that's why I made sure we were all at the plane. Because like I said, this stuff is about to get real nice and juicy. Watch, if it ain't already juicy enough. Put you in the sickle, for the harvest is what? Look at the time frame. I keep telling you guys. Put the sickle in, for the harvest is what? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is what? This is the key point. This is why I'm pointing. This is why I got my finger pointing at it. That's right, Brother Carlton. That's how come we can go wherever we want to go, when we want to go, without restriction. Without that limiting mind that says, but you're not there. Don't listen to the grandson try to convince you that you're sitting up there in the top floor penthouse, eating grapes, dipped in the best Dutch chocolate. Don't believe that you're doing that. Believe that you're just a loser. Now, why in the fuck? Y'all gotta get like the grandson about this, y'all. Why in the fuck would I listen to a nigga tell me I ain't shit and believe him? Why would I do that? When you really know, when you have knowledge, then you're not destroyed anymore. You're like, why would I listen to somebody tell me I'm gonna die instead of how I will live? If I have a choice, now my question is, do you guys have a choice? That's my question. Do you have a choice? And if you have a choice, then why do you let the one that's telling you you're gonna die talk to you? Okay. Put you in the sickle, for the harvest is what? That's right, Brother Chuck. It's ripe. So what does ripe mean, little flock? What does ripe mean? Complete. Look how Abba been talking to us. Not talking to them. He been talking to us in a unique way. And none of y'all who have been closely knit with what we've been doing here can deny it. He's the one that was like, complete. It's done. You guys got that message? We were all like, yep, we see it. It's all connected like Legos. We were all in Discord talking about it like, wow. Yep, complete. Unity, oneness. The spirit becoming one. Yeah, we see you collecting us and gathering us, Abba. It's obvious you are. And he's gathering us under what? Under his name, isn't he? That's right, Brother Carlton. Fuck the world, man. That's the right mindset. You hear that? All right, Brother Skill. So we going to Shanghai. That's right. We got to go pay them a visit anyway. Because, see, they think they about to rule the world next. We gotta go on over there like the flockulators do. And then when Xi Jinping and all of them, when they hear the bah! And we come landing on the ground and shit, then he's gonna be like, we gonna be like, we don't give a damn what you saying, Xi Jinping. You ain't about to run shit. The flockulators run shit. And I'm about to prove it to y'all. Like I said, man, this is a very interesting time that y'all are being brought into, and I'm proving it to you. And once you see it, like I say, you can't deny that you're in that time. You see it? That's right. Ripe means ready to be plucked. It means finished. Nothing, they got to do nothing more. It means ready. So thrust your sickle in, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. See? The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. See, valley of decision, valley of Jehoshaphat, valley of decision. God is making a choice between the goats and the sheep. Didn't he say that? Between the wheat and the tares. Didn't he say that? And now he's saying that the fruit is ripe. So then put your sickle in there and harvest. Well, let's keep going. Multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of I am is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. I am also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem. What is Zion and Jerusalem? I told you guys what it means. What does it mean? That's right, Brother Skill. We got to let them know the truth. That things ain't always what they seem. Don't matter what it looked like. Optimus Prime was a machine, and at least he knew that. And nigga said, all that meets the eye ain't what it looked like. Everything is not what it meets the eye. So don't judge on outward appearance. See? But watch this here, little flock. So we see the sun, moon shall be dark, stars withdraw. For Abba shall roar out of Zion. That's right, Brother Cut. Right thought. You see it? That holy mountain, which is a heart as well. See it? And then where's the next place did he say? And utter his voice from Jerusalem, from the heart. See, these two are being united into one. They were separated. Watch how easy it is to see it. When you were young and ignorant and naive, you did sin. Now, when you did sin, what it means is you had feelings. See, down here, you had feelings that desired something, but they didn't pass the thought test. Your thoughts knew what you were doing was wrong. So you had enmity and war between these two. See what I'm describing to you? Between these two, the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel. When there's division, then they are split. And now your thoughts have become enslaved to Assyrians, Babylonians. Do you understand? And now your feelings are without a head or without right thought. Come on, little flockulators. So Abba sent him back. See it? That's why in Zion shall be deliverance, and in Jerusalem, those two places. See it, little flock? Okay? Right thoughts and right feeling. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but I am will be the hope of his people. So when this war that I'm describing to you pops off, what will be our hope? What will our minds be set on as a group? Us right here at the School of Marvelous Light. What will we be thinking when trouble strikes? That number one thing I keep telling you? Probably, which is I am what? Niggas say, I'm about to shoot a missile, grandson. What am I going to say? You guys know what I'm going to say. Well, Brother Cut, you could say those 7 churches turned to the 7 synagogues. You hear me? The 7 synagogues of Satan. And when they turn to the 7 synagogues of Satan, then they turn to the 7 deadly sins. See that, little flockulators? Okay? See? Do you see it? That's the words you're gonna be hearing me say. All right. So let's continue. So he shall utter his voice out of Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But I am will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So shall you know that I am, your power, dwelling in Zion. Right thought. That's where I am, your power is dwelling. Now I say I'm the grandson of right thought. Is the power of I am dwelling here in this temple? So God didn't lie to you. As strange as it is, and I know it must be sometime. You can't deny it though, can you? No. And the change, the baptism you need to enter into the spiritual mind takes place here at the School of Marvelous Light, like you guys admitted. That's why I asked you before. And then I said I was going to prove to you why that's happening. No, I'm proving it to you. Can't you see? Can't you see? All right. And it shall come to pass, excuse me, let's go back a little bit. So you shall know that I am, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy. Then shall Jerusalem. So wait, Zion, right thought, like I told you, is the man or is the husband of the house. So you noticed it said God will dwell in Zion and then Jerusalem, and then Jerusalem shall be holy. So your thoughts, once they're corrected into right thought, now your feelings are going to be set apart feelings. You're not going to feel like the world. You're going to feel separated from the world and how you feel. You're going to feel safe when they are terrified. You're going to feel full when they are starving. You're going to feel elated when they are demoralized and distressed. Don't you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, then that makes you holy. Well, your feelings will only feel that once Zion is set up in this holy mountain, or right thought is set up in the earth. Can you hear me? Okay. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountain shall drop down new wine. Come on, you guys admitted it. I'm getting new wine. So then God not lying. Is he? I mean, do you guys see what I see? Do you? Or am I the only one who sees it? That's right, Brother Chris. Comforted when they are offended. Silent when they are screaming and hollering in agony. See the difference? That's right, Brother Skill. It's not hard to understand. Now there's a good husband. What does the Bible say? You shall no longer call me the Lord. So when you come to the School of Marvelous Light, you no longer call Abba the Lord anymore. See how God is telling you guys this? But you start to call him husband. Why? What does the grandson call him? Husband. I've said it all the time. My husband, I'll be talking just like a woman. I'll be like, shit, trying to lift up my skirt. You better get away from me. I got a husband. I'm spoken for. Ain't that how I talk? And I broke down what it means to speak like you have a husband. It means to speak as though you're him. Because a wife becomes her husband. She's not a wife independent anymore when she's married. They are one new flesh. One new flesh. Not two people, one person. So then when you're married to Christ, you're not two. You're not two. So why y'all talk like y'all two? Jesus, you're powerful. Then help me. Jesus, you're so strong. help me. And you're leaving I am completely desolate when you pray like that, because you think your power is outside of yourself, but it's not. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The one you say you love told you that. The kingdom of heaven cometh not with outward observation. The one you love said that. For the kingdom of heaven is within you. You see it? That's right, brother Cut, as it was in the beginning. Who understood how it was in the beginning? Probably a student of the one that came in the beginning. So the grandson learned from the Son of God. That's been a mystery that I told you has been hidden from the whole wide world. So there's a Son of God named Yahusha. Who's his Abel? Or who's his lamb? Because he holds him in his bosom. So who's his lamb? And you guys found out when you came here. You didn't know it before you came here, did you? No. So come on. Rejoice. Rejoice. You see what I'm saying? That's the point of saying this. Continue. Let's continue. Then what shall what? New wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters. So land flowing with milk and honey. That's called the promised land. So you see when it says, once your feelings are now corrected because right thought has come, now you're going into the promised land. That's what that means. That's what I want y'all to know. That's why I'm telling y'all. That's why y'all met the grandson of right thought. That's why I will put the words in my mouth that drew you here, that you can hear the truth and be converted thereby and be healed. That's what he said. He said the only ones who are not healed are those who couldn't hear. They were blinded. But if you see and you hear, then Abba had it that you would be healed, and you were healed when you got here. You see? Do you see it? Hope you do. Watch. And a fountain shall come forth out of the house of I am, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation. See it? And Edom, which is Esau, shall be a desolate wilderness. So Egypt and Esau represent carnal worlds that build up all high and try to look all extravagant and have all the money. I mentioned Rome. Rome is Edom. So I told you they took all the goodly things and all the gold and silver. That's why they're being mentioned. I told you read Psalm 83 and see if Edom pops up. You'll see that it does. So let's continue. But Judah shall dwell forever. So those who praise I am will never die. How can you die if you say I am everlasting? Look how people don't understand how to praise I am, do they? They don't know how to praise God because they don't know God's name. Like I said, and though it's so obvious what his name is, you can't see it because you have a veil when you're reading the part of the Bible that tells you his name. There is a veil covering every man's eyes. God doesn't want him to see it until the Son comes to that man. See? That's how you know who the Son is. See? Because he's the one that removes the veil that Moses had. You were baptized when that veil was there. Now you got to be baptized again so that veil can be removed so that you can see what? The same thing you guys saw when the veil was removed from your eyes. The Father. Come on! Don't give a damn what you niggas say. We don't care what a nigga done say. Nah, we don't give a damn what a nigga done say. We don't care what a nigga done say. Nah, we don't give a damn what you niggas do. Why? Because my Abba is good. He's so good. He is good. I said my Abba's so good. He is good. He is good. Mm-hmm. For I will cleanse their blood. Baptism, I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed. See, they went through one baptism, but they hadn't gone through the second one. So now they're going to go through the second one. For I am dwelleth in Zion. See how he says it right there at the end there? Dwells in right thought. Y'all hear me today, little flockulators? Okay? Got a little time left, little flock. So if we can, let's cover a few more little points and then we're going to be out of here. And my device is tripping. I've been running slow all day, little flock. I don't know why this thing want to take all day today. Okay? Now, the unique thing about this battle, remember, it's Jehoshaphat, right? All the nations are surrounding us, right? There's a unique thing about this war. Now, the grandson tells you, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Keep your mouth closed. Keep the word of his patience. Ain't that what I tell you guys? When the fight gets on, be quiet. You don't need to scream. You don't need to holler. You don't need to be afraid. Isn't that what I tell you? Well, let's read right here. 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 1. And it came to pass after this also that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon, and with them other beside the Ammonites, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. See it? So now Jehoshaphat's getting surrounded. It's the same thing we read in the other place. See it? It's what's happening right now on the earth. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, there cometh a great multitude against thee from beyond the sea, in this side Syria. And behold, they be in Hazanzatamar or something, which is in Gedi. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek I am, and proclaimed a fast throughout Judah. Fast means to humble. Everybody get humble. We need to stop. We need to stop tripping. We need to stop partying, stop having a good ass time. Everybody humble yourself down for a second, and let's hear what Abba got to say concerning this shit, because we surrounded. See it? Now watch when you hear what Abba got to say about what they should do. But first you need to hear that he was afraid, and he saw I am. And Judah gathered themselves together to ask help of I am. Even out of all the cities of Judah, they came to seek I am. So all the praisers came together to praise I am, in other words. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of I am before the new court, and said, O I am, our power of our fathers, are not thou power in heaven? And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thine hand is there no power in, is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Aren't you the most powerful? Don't you conquer all? See? Are not thou our power, who didst drive out the inhabitants of the land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend forever? See? And that they dwell therein, and have built them a sanctuary therein for thy name, saying, if evil come upon us as the sword, judgment, pestilence, famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction. So when we stay in the house and we cry to the one who in the house. Who's in the house? I am. Come on. So then you don't need to talk to anybody out there to save you. Save us, save us. That's vanity. That's a coward. That's a bitch. We're warriors. And we're going to be mighty warriors if you're asking me. We're not going to be any weak poop buck tuck and tail ass curs, because ain't no fearful going to enter in. We're reading it. Let's continue. So he feared, right? He got afraid because there was a big ass military coming to destroy him and his men, his people. So now let's just jump on ahead and get to it. He said, we all gonna die and we don't know what to do. You see that little flock? He says, we don't know what to do. That's verse 12. O our power, will you not judge them? For we have no might against this great company. See how it's about being surrounded by a great company? He said all nations gonna come against the little flockulators. You see it? But we have no power against their numbers, right? Neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. Our eyes. What eyes, little flock? The two in your head? We don't judge by sight. Our eyes are the 7 eyes. Our eyes are looking toward the head of the body for the thoughts to be given to it, to tell us what to do. And then if you tell us what to do, then our feelings will follow that right thought to the kingdom. Let's see. Let's see. Then upon Jehaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jael, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, came the spirit of I am in the midst of the congregation. And he said, hearken ye all Judah, and you inhabitants of Jerusalem, O thou King Jehoshaphat, thus saith I am unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but Abba's. See, little flock. So this battle we're facing right now, it is not your battle. Look how that causes you to be relieved from those thoughts, attack you every single day. To take up your arm and do something of flesh and do something to change your circumstances. That will not change it. And if it does change it, it will only change it temporarily. And as a man knows, temporary things let a man down. Am I telling a lie here? It lets you down to know that when you love your child, you only have them for a time. It lets you down to know that you and your bride that you love dearly will be separated in the flesh in that temporary life, even though forever is what you would like it to be. But in this flesh, you have sorrow, and in the world, you have sorrow. That's what the word says. But I have overcome the world with the right feelings and the right thoughts. So should you have. Let's continue and let's see if that's what it's about. He said, don't be afraid. You see it? That was the word that Abba gave. Be not afraid nor dismayed by the reason of this great multitude. I know it like a lot, but don't be worried about that. For the battle was not yours, but God's. Tomorrow go against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz, and you shall find them at the end of the brook before the wilderness of Jeruel. You shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand still, see the salvation of I am with you. O Judah and Jerusalem, fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for I am will be with thee. So then, do you guys see how simple that is to understand? You don't need to fight. I am fights. The grandson has told you that he fights all of his battles with the name of I am. So then what in the hell do you think you should fight your battles with if you call yourself a flocculator? And if you're not a flocculator, then you're not going to fight your battles with that name, and you're going to die. So then, depart from me, because I shall live everlastingly. That's simple. So he said, you're not going to need to fight. You don't need to be afraid, but the name of I am is going to do it. I've witnessed it, and I told you guys that I've seen it for myself. So then there's no need to deny that that's the power. So I'm telling you this so that you know how to fight when the terror comes around you. When the thoughts surround your mind, all you do is claim the truth of the name of I am, which is I am chilling in the promised land, drinking milk and honey and every damn thing. I am doing it. So then you think you can stop. You didn't, because I'm here. So how did you stop me? Do y'all hear the way I'm talking? Do y'all hear that? Isn't that new to talk like that? An enemy is sitting right in front of you thinking he's preventing you from getting to your destination. But I am in my destination. So how did you prevent me? What do you mean, how did I? I'm sitting right here in front of the guy. What does he mean, how did I prevent him? Well, I already am where I say I am. So then I bypassed you, and I'm about to watch God show me how. That's called watch the salvation. Stand still, watch. Watch me move this nigga out your way, and I do. I watch niggas get moved the fuck up out of my way. Plain and simple. And I would advise you guys to be the same mind that I have. Okay, little flock? I ain't got much battery left on my device here, so hopefully I'll get through this little scripture right here before we got a dip. Okay? Now matter of fact, we'll cut it into 2 messages. I'll do the rest, hopefully, Abba willing, the next time we can do a live. I'll finish here. Revelation chapter 14. Now remember what was being told? Thrust in your sickle. Weren't we reading that in Joel? Thrust in your sickle, for the harvest is ripe. So let's go to Revelation and see what we find here. Revelation 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat, like unto the Son of Man. Like unto the Son of Man. You hear that? I saw a cloud. I saw one sitting on the cloud, like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. Thrust in your sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle. See? Why? And reap, for the time is come. That time that was being talked about, that time is come. Who will reveal to you that time has come? The one who wrote Revelation. Is that the bosom buddy of Yahusha? Is that the Lamb of Yahusha? Is that the beloved of Yahusha? Yes. The revealer? Yes. What have I told you guys about who I am? See, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. See that? And he that sat on the cloud, so when the harvest takes place, it's him that's sitting on the cloud that thrust in the sickle into the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, and having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the altar, which had power over fire, power over fire, power over fire, and cried with a loud cry, to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. Her grapes are fully ripe. When are they ripe? When they know the Father and they know their sin. So now they can stop sinning and take the Father's name in truth. That's when they're ripe. And when they don't doubt anymore, and when they're not afraid anymore, and when they're not double-minded anymore, but now they're single-minded on I am is my power. So I ain't running nowhere else for when I get stressed, when I get doubtful, when I get worried. I'm not running nowhere else. I'm running right to I am. I'm single-minded about the shit. And another angel came out the altar, which had power over fire, okay? And the angel thrust in the sickle in the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. We just read that. Jehoshaphat. And the winepress was trodden without the blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Do you see it, little flock of later? Do you see it, little flock of laters? So do you see what's going on there? That war I was describing to you guys. Do you see the events that are taking place? Okay. Okay. Revelation 20. Okay. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And I saw thrones, and they that sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahusha, and for the word of El, which they had and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. And I broke that down with you, what it means by 1,000 years. I broke it down in my last video. But the rest of the dead lived not again till the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. That's you guys. You're alive again. So that means you've been resurrected. On such, the second death hath no power. I told you, there's a pillar of fire that separates you from the second death. Death is the second wave of the carnal mind. He just said he was bound, and then he was bound for 1,000 years and then he's going to be loosed. That's going to be the second time carnal mind is going to attack. Once you heard the truth, you had a season. I told you guys, 7 years gathering up all this information. That's what I've been doing the last 7 years. But we know there's 7 years of plenty, and then there's 7 years of lack. And Abba said there will be a drought of hearing the words of I am. Isn't that what he said? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. See that there? And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. God to do what? To gather them together to battle. So it's the same thing we were just reading about in the other two places. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. See? So we know it's the same people. The innumerable multitude. Now, what are we told to do when we see them? Not fear. Stand still and see. And do the thing the grandson told us to do. That's just the truth. Because that's what I'm going to do. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing. And they went up the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints about. I asked you guys, who did they come to surround? The camp of the saints. You see that there, little flock? And the beloved city. See it? The beloved city. You see it? And fire came down. I told you. Fire came down from power out of heaven and devoured them. So then we already got the end result of the war. Nigga, fire gonna come down and consume every last one of you niggas. Because what's written about if you fight against Jerusalem, the holy city, beloved city of God we just read about? What's gonna happen to you? Your eye will consume away. Yeah, fire like to burn nigga eyeballs. Your tongue will consume away. Yeah, fire likes to burn up a nigga tongue when it's talking that bullshit. Y'all hear me today, little flockulators? So they compassed about the saints. But fire came down and devoured them. And then they all got tossed to the lake of fire. So do you guys see? We stood still. We didn't have to do anything. Fire came down and devoured them niggas up. All the attacks that try to come at you will be devoured with fire. So don't pay attention to the attacks. Matter of fact, turn blind eye to it and become silent in the face of it, like Yahusha showed you to do. Like Yahusha showed you to do. Okay? Like Joshua showed you to do. Because I told you, after you get the first baptism of Moses, then you have to get baptized by Joshua. What is the man whose name is the branch? What's his name in the Bible? Then you know I ain't lying about a dadgum thing. All right, then. One more, and then we'll be done here, little flock. Psalm 149. Psalm 149 says, praise you, I am. See? Sing unto I am a new song. I don't give a damn what these niggas say. Sing unto Abba a new song. And his praise in the congregation of who? Saints. The ones that got surrounded. See? Let Israel rejoice in him that made him, and let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and the harp. For I am takes pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. See? Let the saints be joyful in glory, and let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of I am be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains. You're so wise now. This nigga can't fuck with you. These niggas on the earth that call themselves kings, call themselves elders, call themselves deacons, call themselves King David, call themselves the Comforter, call themselves Yahusha, call themselves the Christ. All these niggas that come at you gonna fall by the wayside. Do you hear it today? Why? Because we're here to execute vengeance on all those who have lied, all of those who bear false witness, all of those who don't know the Father, to bind them with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye I am. So then what you think I'm going to do? Keep praising him or stop? What y'all think I'm going to do? So y'all hear that little flock? Y'all hear that message today? Do y'all understand the zeal that's coming out of your brother? I know the world don't understand. They're too stupid to understand. They're too dumb. They're too slow. They're too blind. They're too deaf and dumb, the Bible calls them. So they don't understand why I have the zeal that I have, but I hope that you do. Because when you understand where you're standing and the time frame that you're in, then you understand how you should act and how you should feel and how you should be, how you should think. Y'all see me today, little flockulators? So y'all be blessed today, little flock. And like I said, we'll continue this message in another day where I'll finish talking about those baptisms and how this, how it correlates with you and what has happened with you. I ask you guys, that man whose name is the branch, what is his name? Because we just read that salvation is the one that's going to tell you that. That's what the word Joshua, the name Joshua means. So every time it's going to be the same. Well, what is Jesus's name? Joshua or Yahshua, Yahusha. It's the same name. And he brought salvation. And the branch has the same name. For those who don't know, the branch's name is Joshua the high priest. Y'all see that little flock? So then there's no fluke anywhere. As strange as it may seem, as hard as it may be to wrap your mind around it, it's no fluke. This is real. This is happening. You see it? Because we real. We the real ones. So prepare for the attack. You see it? Because Abba already has the standard. You guys are seeing it. And it's being lifted up in the earth. I am safe. That's the standard to live. To believe. That's the standard. Ask Abraham. When you see Abraham, you would ask him, what did you do to be God's friend? He's going to say, I believed God. Stop. That's all he's going to say. Y'all hear me, little flock? So I'll be blessed today. And I love each and every one of you. And I pray that the love of the Father encompass you, that his grace overshadow you and keep you and protect each and every one of you today in the name of I am, that you know how precious you are. Brother Chris, Brother Cut, Skill, Brother Chuck, Brother Vaughn, Brother Carlton, and any other brother I may have missed, that you're precious today and that you're valuable. And I need you to say it. And once you say it, I need your wife to come in that house and agree with you. You understand what I mean when I say that? I know y'all do. So, Peace to the flockulators. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Abba willing. We'll do this again soon. Silwa Mr. Allah.